Hello, and welcome to another tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence. I'm going to move that microphone. And I'm Francis McCarthy. And the painting I'm bringing you today, I'm calling it, at least for now, Twilight Through the Trees. And it's a little 5x7. And now you notice that the board's been tinted. That is some basically hardboard slash masonite that I've tinted. I'm gonna maybe I did videotape that process. Maybe I'll pop that on the channel just for your edification and enjoyment. And so this was just a little quickie I did the other day, and I've had this. The photo reference was based on a pictorialist piece. I wish I had the name of the photographer. I don't know it. If you do, because it's fairly recognizable still. Just pop it in the comments and I'll pin it up at the top. Yeah. Anyway, pictorialism was a movement in photography that ran concurrent with tonalism to a large degree. It was a pictorial or painting type approach to photography, and very fascinating actually. A lot of times photographers would take a photograph, make a print of it, and then photograph the print to get a painterly effect. I just learned that the other day. Anyway, his photo was a sepia tone, as I imagine almost all old photography was. I don't know when the real black and white photography came on board, but it seems like every old photo is a sepia tone. I'm no expert on the history of photography, so not the place to come for that sort of thing. But what I did, though, as you can see, I'm not working in sepia tones exactly. I'm into some reds and yellows and a lot more punch. And the way I've done that is I've actually made adjustments to the sepia toned photo in Photoshop. And that's a lesson I'm probably going to impart to members at some point, how to do that. If you're a member of the channel, then you're a fan of mine, and I'm a fan of yours. So consider joining. It's like, I don't know, $6 a month. Yeah. So you can join and then leave anytime you want. Whatever. But I will, that's one thing I was thinking of sharing, because members have access to the live videos. But I was thinking it might be cool to have maybe some access to some special tips and tricks like that. Anyway, so this is like, I'm sure if I was an expert in color theory, it's basically like a duo tone, but really almost a tritone. You've got yellow, you've got the brownish reds, but the brownish reds we go into a reddy red. And then we go into a burnt umber tone as our darkest tone. So I made, and you can think about this in your own painting as well. Like this is a lot of what tonalism is about. You hold off from the lightest lights and the darkest, in some cases, the darkest darks. Usually, most toneless paintings don't seem to hold off from the darkest darks. They will go all the way there, but definitely hold back on the lightest lights. And if you would compare most tonalist works to Impressionist paintings, on the whole, Impressionist paintings tend to be much brighter and lighter, and tonalism tends to be a little more dark. But anyway, you're talking about limiting your range of values, and in this case, I also had a limited range of colors. So like I said, the values didn't go into the brightest brights, and my darkest dark is going to be burnt umber as it comes out of the tube, which is a beautiful color and works really well in that regard. I've done that in figurative things before. Yeah. Anyway, so as far as the colors go, we are not actually going into any greens. I was tempted because I could have veered. If you look at the color wheel, you can see the segment of the wheel I'm in. It's all in the reds into yellow tones, but even there, my reds are a certain type of red. It's not a yellow orange. It's more of a cherry type of red, and not even cherry. Words fail, eh? You'll see it. In fact, you would have seen the at the beginning of the video. You would have seen the thumbnail shows you where we're headed on this. And I was overall really pleased with this painting. It didn't take a long time to do, but so much of the simplification has come from the photographer's approach already. So that was a big boost, a big benefit to me as a painter, because he already created a photo that looked like a painting. So in many ways, this is almost like doing a study. The other thing is like, I think this photographer was influenced by Japanese art, because this is very decorative. It has a real pattern type sensibility to it, and I definitely kept that. One of the things I tried to do was like, in fact, this is a really good technique to do if you're a painter and you're looking at ways of reinterpreting things, your own photos. You know, having a very strong dark in the foreground and everything in the background is light automatically creates interest, and it really does create space as well. In this case, everything's been kind of flattened, but you'll see at the end that I do a few things to add just the slightest amount of dimension to, you know, these hills I'm kind of painting in the back. Also, there was quite a lot of trees and things in the back that I chose not to paint, and that's a really good tip as well. You know what to leave out. Yeah. Also, I wanted to get into just want to reiterate, because we're after the 6-minute mark, so most of the casual viewers have already departed. This type of video is a painting demonstration. The primary purpose of the video is to share the painting being created. It's been sped up. If you want to see the actual live full-length version, join the membership area and enjoy that there. But this on its own, I don't choke the resolution. It's full resolution and pretty enjoyable. If you're not into the accompanying dialogue, because I've had I've had complaints in the past or whatever. It's like, oh, da, 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 da. Well, first of all, sorry. But second of all, you know, you have a couple options. You can just move on to the next video because you're not into the overall experience. I'm not bothered by that. This is what I do when I'm on YouTube. Or if you just, you know, you really want to watch the painting, but you're finding the verbal aspect of the video to be distracting. I've been recommending for the last 6 years that people just turn off the volume on the video and put their own music on and enjoy that. I think that's the totally legitimate way to watch my videos. And heck, if I might even do some of that myself if YouTube wasn't, you know, well, it's not really them. They have to enforce copyright or get sued, you know, so I'm not blaming them. But they will demonetize your video if you use someone else's music in a heartbeat. It takes no time at all. Yeah. And a little bit of monetization's good. We all got expenses, eh? Yeah. So now another thing, you can see I'm kind of I worked in an initial drawing with these trees, but I kept it. I knew I was going to have to work in things behind them, so you don't want to come in like with your strongest darks. In this case, trying to do that over the top of everything. So what my particular technique is to do is to, you know, basically draw everything out, start working in the back, and then you're going to see how I start building up the darkest darks. Now, one thing I did was I had 2 stages to the darks. One is semi-dark, and then one is a bit darker, and it doesn't, like I say, go all the way to as dark as a perceptually as black wood, but in the context of the painting, everything is relative. It seems very, very dark indeed. Yes, so you can see now I'm going over what would have been my underpainting stage. And one of the things that I like to do is, you know, as you don't want to have things too. I use the expression polka dotty. You want to start pulling in your shapes together and creating a design. Um, and this is one advantage we have as painters over photographers, big time. Photographers basically have to capture what's there, um, whereas we as painters, we capture what's there, but we also have the opportunity to eliminate a great deal of what's there. And that's the really important thing, I think. If you were asking me for the best advice for a painter starting out, I'd say concentrate on what you can leave out and still have a good painting. And there's techniques for doing that, like you can squint down, or in my case, because I wear glasses, I just take my glasses off and all I'm seeing is the big shapes. And I can see the small shapes, but not etched in strong detail. So it gives me a way of kind of getting a good overview on the painting, and that's very valuable. You have to design your painting. Another good tip that I'm always recommending is, since if you're starting out as a painter, maybe you're trying to get the whole painting done in one go. But if you're working in stages, I'd say in the final stages, just forget about the photo reference altogether. You don't want to clutter your painting with a bunch of details. And in fact, if you did do that and you left the reference off, and say you're finishing the painting and you're just kind of making up details, your painting will be 10 times better for those made up details than it would have been from you painstakingly trying to delineate details that were in the photo reference. And the same would go with plein air painting, although in plein air painting I don't think it's as big an issue because everything in the scene outdoors is changing pretty rapidly, and so you're not going to have time to sit there and do a bunch of little tweaky details, unless you just focused on a rock and a piece of moss and some leaves or something. I don't know. I'm not much of a plein air painter, but now you can see now the whole most of the pop in this painting is coming in now, where we get the strong contrast of the dark, and you can see it's not black. Definitely could be photographed in ways where it would be perceived as black, but it's not. It's a few, I'd say at least one value degree in the 10 value scale away from black. Yeah, and that's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. And in general, I'm really happy with the way this little painting turned out. Now the next day, after this, I did another one in the same color tones, but based on a photo that had not been put through, based on one of my own photos, and that came out very well too. A bit different, but there the whole process was about simplifying from the reference to do my painting, and that was pretty exciting. In fact, I'm going to be going into the studio very shortly and having a look at that. But I did record it as I record just about everything, and I'll be sharing that here too. It's kind of designed to be sort of a sister piece with this, if only in that. Now you can see what I'm doing right now. I'm just adding a little. I'm getting done with the painting, but before I left I thought, oh, just a little more light at the top of that hill to really help with that progression down. And you see how I really held off on any strong tones in the background, and that'd be another good tip for you as well. If you made it this far, you deserve it, eh? Which is, you keep really dark contrasts out of your background, and you will create a sense of depth and space. Okay, that's a really excellent tip, and I've given all these tips before, and I'm going to give them all again because we're constantly adding new subscribers to the channel, and if you're a new subscriber, welcome aboard. Also, hey, go on over to my website. You can support me there with a donation. Many people have done that, and I appreciate it. It just helps keep this whole enterprise going. And also, you could buy a painting there. I have a bunch of really cool paintings for sale. They're pretty affordably priced, and the shipping is free, right? International shipping, free. What a deal. Anyway, till I get back with another video, do me a favor. Please take good care of yourself and your family, all your loved ones. In these times of unrest with all the things going on, especially in the U.S., just be patient with people that have different viewpoints from your own. We're all human beings, and we got to love each other, right? Be patient and love other people